And we're set to go. The Spurs, who are ending their rodeo road trip. Opening minutes here. Ball away by Ginobili, and the Spurs take the lead.
See Ginobili waiting for the screen to come up. He gets his big man Duncan to set the screen. A little bit of a fake to the inside, then that step back jump shot he's so dangerous with.
Here's Boozer with the hook shot in the lane.
Think he'd get there.
Interesting, Mike, that the Bulls are predicated on their defense with Mike Thibodeau in his first year. Steal by Tony Parker, and Parker uses his body and gets the layup, and youth jam, and had a huge game last year. And there's a good feed inside to Thomas. And it was Derrick Rose who comes into the game amongst the leaders in assists. 9th in the league at over 8 a game. Parker throws it away. And here's Dang. Jefferson is back. 2-on-1. Dang from Rose.
Player on the floor. He gets himself in the air. He's twisted and turned, but somehow he always balances it back up to be able to get a shot or pass off Ginobili there.
And the best record they've ever had at this stage of the race. And this is a team that won 4 NBA titles. Here's Boozer. Chicago swept San Antonio. Here's Rose, and the quick pass, Dang. Boozer gets away from DeJuan Blair and hits. Off to a hot start. Parker fakes the shot against Rose, going in, banks it in, and the basket counts. And an and one coming up perhaps for Barker. Pippen will not be playing in the All-Star. 31 points combined in the victory back in November. Here's Rose battling in. Pretty move by Rose, showing his toughness, and the Bulls are up by 3.
How many players can make that kind of a move? You get to the rim, you're surrounded by 3 defenders, you reach back and still spin it in.
So Manu Ginobili, who is the leading scorer at over 17 a game for the Spurs. And a jumper by Derrick Rose.
Chicago was up 10 at the half, but then it was a disastrous third quarter. 37-12 by San Antonio that turned the game around.
Way by Boozer. Plenty of time. Parker using a Duncan screen, spinning his way in and scoring. Pretty play by the Spurs. Points for the Spurs total, trailing by 3. Rose over Parker, and Rose now
the tempo a little bit more.
That'll be on Boozer.
Watch Parker split, come back, almost ready to travel, but keeps his head and eyes focused on the backboard, gets it up there and finishes. Parker kind of a green light. Let's go ahead and push this thing down the floor and look for some early offense.
Hill and Bonner have come into the game for the Spurs. Boozer.
Such an emphasis here since the day that Tom Thibodeau came in and took over that they now have improved that much.
And Rose going in, gets the basket and a foul. An acrobatic lay-in by Derrick Rose, who wows the crowd, and the Bulls have had the biggest attendance in the league, and no wonder.
He comes at you and he freezes you, and you have no idea which way he's going, and then he has some great hang time in the air, body control, and then the key at the end is doesn't lose his focus or concentration, keeps his eyes on the rim, and finishes. That's the big thing.
And Rose with the, we have 3:46 to go in the first here. Bonner trying to set a screen, fighting through it. Is Gibson on Parker now, who goes back and hits the jumper. Tony Parker now with 9 as he got past Rose. Bonner again setting a screen on the outside. Jefferson open for 3, and he hits. Richard Jefferson, his 48th birthday today. Ginobili fouled.
What we got to do if we want to.
That went out about 50 years ago, so you know, he just missed the cut, so to speak.
How about that?
Here's the turnaround and the field goal. His best basketball of his career at both ends of the floor. Here is Hill, who is wide open for the 3 and hits. Rose here, as Rose goes baseline, is trapped, leaving Dang open at the top. Misses the 3. Fight for the loose ball, and Rose has it, lays it in. Derrick Rose. Talk about the timing to get that ball, and Rose puts it in for 11 points and an 8-point Bulls lead.
Popovich wanted to see what they would do against to try to get Rose out of the pick and roll situations. Neal.
Ginobili.
Nice switch defensively. Let's watch the rebound on the inside. Rose happens to get to it first, comes up on the other side with the finish. And when you look at the 3 guys, Neal, 4 people that can really drain him from behind the 3-point line for San Antonio.
Meanwhile, the Chicago Bulls, as we wind down to the end of the quarter, are second in the league in defending against threes. This is a two-point shot by Ginobili. He doesn't get it. Gibson the rebound, and that will do it for the first quarter. Gibson had the ball knocked away, and a block is made, and the Bulls get it back. Block made by Gibson. And no shot there. Watson fires up a three, looking to pass it. Puts it up, and it's blocked by Gibson. Second block by Gibson into the hands now of Brewer. And Ginobili gets a piece of that jump shot. Defense on both ends. Neal hitting a three.
Look at Gibson, Deng, Brewer, Noah, even C.J. Watson. All of them have very long arms. Duncan from the top of the circle with the deuce. And
which only underscores the great job Jerry Sloan did. And sorry to see him leave the scene as
to having their opponents shoot this kind of field goal percentage. 60% for the Bulls, 54 for San Antonio.
Parker hitting a jumper.
Just we could talk to the coaches right now. They say their teams are playing all-star weekend defense right now, where they expect a 170-point game to take place.
Boozer quarter, and nearly halfway through the second stanza. Parker going around Thomas like a flash. Tony Parker now with 13. And again, a three-point game, and the turnover into the hands of DeJuan Blair.
The San Antonio defense producing turnovers and the ability to get quick scores.
Watson guarding Parker. And again, now Thomas, former teammate of Duncan's in San Antonio for a year and a half, and Duncan's. Blair gives the Spurs the lead again.
Has Chicago had double figures in rebound points. They just don't score the fast break points as Rose gets on the inside and finishes an incredible shot. Derrick Rose twist his way through the lane, avoid three black jerseys, and wind up scooping it backwards for the layup.
Defending, fires it up wildly, and Thomas getting the rebound. 5 rebounds for Kurt Thomas. Deng pulls up and hits. Under 3.5 to go. Here's Rose again using his body.
Great athlete, speed, quickness. How about Dallas? 9.
First half. Boozer with a good move against Bonner. Defended well. Plenty of time on the clock. Korver for 3 and hits. Kyle Korver. Here's Ginobili fouled and no.
The way he would hope with a guy like Korver.
Ginobili
Cover, and that's where we saw the turnover take place just then.
Rose on Parker, off the screen, Mano Ginobili with the runner.
Man to step up, and then he was going to drop it off to Duncan. Instead, he faked and went back to big man defender. Ginobili kept the floater going.
And Rose wending his way in and banks it in over Duncan.
You'll see Rose come and attack Tim Duncan. He gets it up high enough to avoid Tim's block shot attempt, and still scores the basket. And
clock. Thomas finds Korver wide open for 3. Deng with the offensive rebound. And they have a new clock differential of about 13. Here's Rose with a fall away, and Rose now with 19 first half points. On an 8-0 run to take a 1-point lead, and then the Bulls went back to work, and Parker draws the foul.
Williams, but you take all
5. And he does. The Bulls with the last shot coming up of this first half. Parker not letting Rose get anywhere. Final seconds. Here's Rose. Changes hands. Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Ginobili from past midcourt, and that'll do it. And the Chicago Bulls
scoring well, but not able to put up the kind of defense they needed, giving up 58 points, 58% shooting to the Bulls. But now Tom Thibodeau on the other side coming out said defensively his big concern is keeping the Spurs out of the paint, running harder at them, especially when they get to the three-point line. And then offensively, he said he loves the pace. Keep the ball moving inside out and keep attacking.
And that's what they're going to do when Noah gets back, especially as Rose. 1-point lead for the Bulls. And Mike talked about their rebounding. Of course, they're second in the league in rebounding with no one in the top 20. That's good team rebounding all the way.
Get some double teams eventually, and then open up the perimeter game for San Antonio.
Deng hitting the shot. The lead is 9. Jefferson has a screen from Blair and hits. Chasing him from behind now, and the runner by Dang, short. And the Bulls get the new clock on the rebound, handled by Thomas. Rose finds his way open and gets a shot. We've seen him do 3.
As Popovich said, what do you want to do? It's not like we're not trying to stop the guy, but he just has so much going for him at the offensive end. And Tim Duncan.
No shot there. Boozer tied up and taken away by Blair. Great play by Blair. And here's Parker. Leaves it for Ginobili. Jefferson now. Duncan will fire away. And he gets his 3rd basket here in the 3rd quarter.
Only Duncan takes his turn to get the good bounce.
Amazing how the Bulls do not let the Spurs get easy shots here. Here's the layup by Boozer inside.
Have to have a guard willing to set a hard-nosed screen to get Boozer open.
A lot of this is a throwback offense for the Bulls, and Rose is a throwback player, and Mobley did not make that one. And here come the Bulls. Dang in the corner. Bogans for 3. And much of that. The crowd in awe of seeing a Spurs-Bulls matchup. Here's Jefferson, lays it in and draws the foul. Well executed play, but and the Spurs are displaced. They usually say we're going to go to work once that road trip is over. Well, they've gone to work a lot earlier this year.
Well, he always used to use this as a bonding experience. Duncan banks it off the glass.
Finds Boozer, finds Gibson, lays it in. Taj Gibson. Popovich will be coaching the West All-Stars on Sunday. 2nd time he's had that honor. Here is Duncan working against Boozer. Left-handed hook. And 5 for 5 from the field for Tim Duncan here in the 3rd quarter. Cuts the lead to 5.
There's that force feeding we talked about. Was San Antonio steal by Tony Parker.
And Parker being chased by Gibson. Foul in the basket. Gibson would like to have that one back. Gets the 3-point.
5 times in a row with the ball. You get a defensive steal, and it's a 2-point game.
Here is Dang for 3. Hits it.
What's the extra attention you're going to see? Stop it right there for a second if we can. 1, 2, 3 black jerseys all surrounding Rose to try and cut away the penetration. A little bit of an adjustment by the San Antonio defense to try and stop his penetration.
It's amazing you don't have to say please. We handled most of the scoring in the first half. Here's Rose against Parker. Parker won't let him in. 8 on the shot clock. Pick and roll to Boozer.
Jump hook.
Winding down to 3 minutes here in this 3rd quarter. Spurs looking to avoid their 10th loss of the year. Parker hitting a 2. Who's going to argue with Kurt Thomas, who has been around and has seen a lot of people? Good block there by Taj Gibson, but back into the hands of the Spurs, and Hill hits the jumper.
Type of body control that this young man, Derrick Rose, has.
Brewer from outside. Rebound by Rose, who lays it in. Rose was right there now with 27 points as teams trying to avoid fouls to their stars.
I think the last game I can think of where 2 outstanding teams that have outstanding point guards, and you see Rose with the floater in between.
Outside, picked up by a Sheik. Reverse layup. McDyess trying to keep it alive. Hill bats it in the air. What a play by several Spurs to keep it going. Final seconds, and the Spurs can get the last shot here. Manu Ginobili loses it against Dang. Time running out, has to force it, and that'll do it. Here is Watson, blocked by McDyess. So a block out on the perimeter. Here is Neal in stride, hitting the 3. Rain, and a 5-point lead now. And Bulls have. Here is Watson getting it inside, and Brewer stuffs it through. A Sheik. Gibson follows. Comes. Losing the ball, but recovered nicely by Brewer. Dang hits the 3 in stride. Tackle, walking on glass it seems, and then would run 80 yards. Here's the feed inside to Gibson. Center in Los Angeles. Parker lost it momentarily. And a block by a Sheik, and Ginobili gets the field goal. 8 on the shot clock. Rose nearly had it knocked away. Here's Brewer over Ginobili hitting. Helter-skelter basketball here as Ginobili falls away from the baseline. And the three by Neal.
Plus, it would have been a fast break layup if Chicago would have gotten to that ball first. They had numbers out there in front. 5-point swing thanks to Bonner.
Banking it in is Rose. Second point.
The floor along with McDyess. So this is the run now that Popovich is hoping they'll get to get themselves back in this game down 14.
And they're 12th edge in the rebounding department by Chicago. Pick and roll. Gibson tipped up and in by a sheet. And McDyess, a presence underneath. Parker against Rose. Nicely done by Tony Parker, who has 22 tonight. Bulls are taking a lot of perimeter shots and missing them, but the Spurs are not converting at the other end. Parker lays it in. Tony Parker, he's been the heart of this team tonight. 24 points, and it's a 9-point game.
And that's when you feel that you have a manageable chance. You get it underneath 10. You still got 3.5 minutes remaining in the game. A stop now so important for San Antonio.
Duncan picking up Rose on the switch. Now back to Parker. 5 on the shot clock. Rose. Jefferson closes in on him, and Rose hits a big two just inside the arc. 34 points for Derrick Rose, and it's an 11-point game. Rose, after 33 the first time they played, has 34 in this one.
Outstanding defense, almost for the full 24 seconds, but then a great player makes a great shot.
And Parker pulling up against Gibson hitting. So it's the Parker and Rose show, scoring-wise, and that's been the theme here. The 2 point guards, been the stars out on the floor. Nine-point game, 2:40 to go. Rose driving in, plays it in. Derrick Rose with 36. His season and career high is 39, and he's right short of that by 3. Here's Ginobili. Duncan going back to Bonner. And we'll have a foul called. Home of everything, NBA stats, video, and player profiles. And talk about the profile of Parker and Rose tonight. 26 for Parker, 36 for Rose. And remember his career high, 39. And with a chance to break that. And each of these two outstanding point guards have committed only 1 turnover. 11-point lead. Approaching 2 minutes to go. Korver misses the 3. Boozer knocks it out of bounds. Spurs ball.
Point shot, Dick, and this is what makes the NBA and the three-point line such a weapon. 1 3-point shot, all of a sudden, you're at 8 points, and you're right around the 2-minute mark, and plenty of time left.
And they got Bonner in there. Ginobili puts it through for the basket. They were not going to come close to fouling it. And we have under 2 minutes to go. 103-94, Mavericks and Suns coming up next on TNT. Rose to Korver. Bonner defending against Boozer. And the ball out of bounds. Unable to control it. And it'll be Spurs ball. Down by 9. And a 3 here would make it, as you told us moments ago, narrowing it to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, and remember the Bulls defense, best in the league at defending the 3-point line, so we'll see what happens.
Ginobili way off the mark on this 3-point attempt.
And that's a rush one. You want to be a little bit more patient, try and get yourself a little bit more open look. Mano that time trying to get it all with that 1 shot.
Derrick Rose using the clock. 12 on the shot clock. Hill is defending. Here's Rose hitting the basket. And the Bulls lead 105-94. 38 points for Rose. And Joakim Noah, who will return next week, standing on the bench. And here is Jefferson trying to stuff it through and is fouled.
They've got perimeter shooting.
And he said what an honor it is to see the 2 players or the 2 squads and his team interact amongst themselves. And he says, you know, I'm in awe of being there with all of the great players at this time.
He left one other guy out, though. Assistant coach is Derrick Rose. finishes it with the banker. We left Mike Budenholzer out.
He's going to coach the rookie team.
Exactly. He's one of the assistants to Greg Popovich. He'll be there.
So under a minute to go in the game, 107-95. Novak has checked in for San Antonio, and a reverse lay-in by Neal. And Rose, by the way, with that last basket, has a career high of 40 points. And winding down to a minute to go, a 10-point lead for the Bulls. And this crowd here at the United Center gets on their feet as Rose hits another one. 42 points, a season and career high for Derrick Rose. And the Bulls are going to capture their 7th straight at home as Blair lays it in. 109-99. And this crowd saluting the Bulls on Michael Jordan's 48th birthday. And all they achieved with him, the greatness with the 6 titles. Rose scoring 8 of the last 10 points.